YouTube, Twitch, hello, hello, hello. Happy Saturday. Hope you are having a great day so far, having a great weekend, having a relaxing weekend, and are having the time of your life. Let's see here. If you got any questions or comments, drop them into the chat, and I will get to those. My name is Nathan Goheen, and let's dive right in. A quote that had caught my attention is by the one and only Maya Angelou. And she said, "Because of the routines we follow, we often forget that life is an ongoing adventure. Life is pure adventure, and the sooner we realize that, the quicker we will be able to treat life as art, to bring all our energies to each encounter, to remain flexible enough to notice and admit when what we expected to happen did not happen. We need to remember that we are creative, and can invent new scenarios as frequently as they are needed. Life seems to love the liver of it. Money and power can liberate only if they are used to do so. They can imprison and inhibit more finally than barred windows and iron chains." Hey Maria, good to see you. I hope you're well. And I hope you caught that quote by Maya Angelou, because it's very direct and truthful. Every time I read something of hers, I'm a little bit surprised at how well she can capture the essence of something. She is very on point, I guess is the word or the phrase. But let's dig into this quote a little bit. The first part, routines we follow, we often forget that life is an ongoing adventure. Sure, routines are good. They give us stability. They give us strength when we are weak. They give us something to lean on. They help us make progress when we think we're not making progress. Routines are good. But our life is more than just routines. It is an adventure. And when we start to recognize that how we live is the most grand piece of art that we can make, I think it has the potential to liberate us, to free us up a little bit. It may allow us to experiment a little bit more with our life. It may allow us to have a little bit more fun with it, which I think is something that's difficult for people. Everybody's got worries, and if those worries outweigh the joys that life can bring, then that's sad. And I think that we should try to remember the joys in spite of the worries, because we're always going to have worries, and we choose whether or not we'll have joy. And what did she say in here? To remain flexible enough to notice and admit when what we expected to happen did not happen. And I think that this is an important reminder that we should not define ourselves based on our failures or our successes. I think that's an important thing to remember, because both of those will lead to our demise. If we judge ourselves based on our failures, then eventually we're going to feel so terrible that we will not try anymore. And if we let our past success define us, then a little bit of the fire will go out, a little bit of the flame will go out, a little bit of the desire will go out, and we will stop giving it 100%, and then we will slowly or quickly stop producing something meaningful and worthwhile. And meaningful and worthwhile is something that interests you, and something that fulfills you. So if you make an amazing album and then you're like, I don't need to do anything else because I made this amazing album, you're probably not going to do anything interesting or fulfilling to yourself. So it's really harmful to you. So don't let success or failure define you. That's kind of what I'm getting out of her mentioning admit when what we expected to happen did not happen. This next sentence is very, very interesting. I feel very connected to it. We need to remember that we are created creative and can invent new scenarios as frequently as they are needed. And this is something that I need to hear on a regular basis. I need to hear daily. And I think it's essentially saying, don't hoard your fuel. Use your fuel. Burn your fuel. You will get more fuel tomorrow. You need to go through what fuel you have today. If you don't use it, you lose it. You know, you could be holding on to something and holding on to it and holding on to it, and then the right time to use it has already passed. Or maybe you're holding on to it and holding on to it and holding on to it, and the longer you hold on to it, the less potent it becomes. I've got a really silly example of this, but I think it shows me that I need to personally work on this thought process a lot. I bought a pair of shoes. I bought a pair of shoes that I absolutely loved, and I loved them so much that I would try to save them. So I didn't wear them as much as I wanted to. And so then it got to the point where I was just like, you know what? I don't really love these shoes anymore. And so what did I do? I had like this pair of hardly worn shoes that I used to love because I didn't wear them when I loved them. And I know it's just shoes, but it's a bigger mindset thing for me personally. It's a bigger mindset thing and a reminder for me to use the fuel that I've got because I'm going to get more. Even if I don't think I'll get more, I will get more. And that leads us kind of into this last little bit. Money and power can liberate only if they are used to do so. They can imprison and inhibit more than barred windows and iron chains. So I was imprisoning a part of myself by not wearing these shoes. And now that part of me is gone. It could have been used to express my personality. But it almost like held me in. It held me in. And I think that people do that with money a lot, right? Because you never know when you're going to get more. And you always need more. And it's always looking bleak, right? Those are just some things for me personally, especially that I need to work on, you know, because like she said, we are created creative and can invent new scenarios as frequently as they are needed. Same with ideas. Sometimes I would like hold off an idea and say, I don't want to develop this idea yet because I need something to hold on to in the future. Because I may not have enough in the future. And that's a silly way of thinking, because in the future you'll have new experiences to work with and use. They will provide you the fuel that you will need to create your new piece of art. Don't hold on to ideas. You got to let them go. I love, this is going to sound silly too. This may be silly like the shoes, but I love it when someone says something to me and then I can use that phrase in another conversation with somebody that same day. And it happens so many times. The more that I've started to like pay attention to it, the more I've been like, you know, somebody says something that's like clever and you're like, oh, I'm going to use that. And then I use it later that day and I was like, okay, perfect. That was a perfect application for that clever little phrase that I heard earlier in the day. And now it's poof out of my brain. No problem. I'm going to get another clever little phrase, you know, because we're created creative. And Maria, y'all are chatting it up in here. I haven't even been reading that. Cool. All right. Thank you too for joining in. I hope this was kind of cool to listen to. It's always good to see you both. Maria, thank you so much for the support. And of course, Anne-Marie, thank you for this support as well. To other people who watch the video later, click in like the more info box on YouTube, and there will be a link to my latest full moon music. And also, I'll put up some more links like here, to some previous videos. There's a breathing exercise that I think is kind of cool. And like, share, subscribe. You know, I'm an independent artist just trying to get a little bit more attention. So if you like this, share this with your friends. And I'm here Saturdays at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And I will see you all next week. Maria, have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of your weekend. And Anne-Marie, you do the same. I will see you all later. Bye-bye.